The history of Christmas, from ancient origins to modern times. Christmas did not start as a big celebration, a shopping season, or a party. For most of history, it was simply another day in winter, and winter was hard work. People still had to get up early in the cold and get on with life. They had to go out in the dark, work long hours, feed animals, keep fires going, and find food for their families. There were no days off just because it was Christmas. Bills didn't stop, hunger didn't stop, and worry didn't stop either. Many people were cold, tired, lonely, or struggling, and Christmas did not magically make those problems disappear. It was not an easy or comfortable time. It was a time when people had to carry on, often with very little, and do their best to get through the winter. Long before Christmas had a name, people lived very close to nature and depended on it for everything. Winter was the hardest time of the year for most people. The days were very short, the nights were long and dark, and the cold seemed to go on forever. Food was harder to find, people got ill more easily, and many worried about how they would get through until spring. Around the shortest day of the year, usually around the 21st of December, people noticed something small but important. This was the darkest time of the year, with the least amount of daylight. But after that point, the light slowly started to come back. Each day was still cold and difficult, but knowing that the daylight was returning gave people hope that things would not stay dark forever. At that time, people came together not to celebrate or have fun, but to help each other get through the winter. Families, neighbors, and sometimes complete strangers shared what little food they had. They sat close together to stay warm, talked to pass the long, dark evenings, and made sure no one was left on their own in the cold. Helping each other was not about being kind for show or doing something special. It was about surviving. This is where the real heart of Christmas began, in people caring for one another when life was hardest, and when everyone needed a bit of help to keep going. Hundreds of years later, Christianity placed the birth of Jesus into this winter period. Not because anyone knew the exact date, but because the meaning fitted the time of year. Jesus was born poor, to ordinary parents, with no comfort, no safety, and no special treatment. That was not an accident, that was the message. Christmas was meant to remind people to care for the poor, the lonely, the weak, and those who were struggling. For a very long time, Christmas stayed simple. Most people did not receive presents. Many still had to work even on Christmas Day. Some were far away from family or completely alone. Christmas did not take away hardship, but it encouraged people to be kinder, more patient, and more willing to look out for one another when life was difficult. Over time, especially in modern society, money slowly took over Christmas. Shops, adverts, and social media started teaching people that love means buying things and caring means spending money. Christmas became more about what you can afford than how you treat people. Today, Christmas often feels heavy rather than happy. People spend money they do not have, use credit cards, and go into debt just to keep up. Many drink too much, stay busy to avoid thinking, and chase a happiness that feels real for a moment but fades quickly when the noise stops. When it's all over, the stress is still there, the bills arrive, and some people feel even more lonely than before. Children grow up thinking Christmas is about presents, excitement, and getting more things, without being taught that it was meant to be about care, kindness, helping others, and simply being human with one another. So now it really comes down to us, one by one. Christmas will not change on its own, and it will not fix itself next year if we keep doing the same things. Christmas changes through people, through the choices we make and the habits we decide to break. We can choose to spend less and stress less. We can stop trying to impress and stop chasing a fake happiness that never lasts. Instead, we can give more time, show more care, and be more present with the people around us. It starts with you, it starts with me, and it works best when we do it together. Let's make a decision to change the bad habits, to slow things down, and to go back to what Christmas was always meant to be. Let's make it about caring for people again, noticing the lonely, helping those who are struggling, and teaching our children that kindness matters more than money. Not materialism, not pressure, not debt, just being kinder, more giving, and more careful with one another. And let's be honest with ourselves for a moment. Nothing really changes if we just nod, agree, and then carry on exactly the same as before. A real difference only happens when we actually do something differently, even if it feels small. It starts when we pause before buying another thing we don't really need, when we think twice and decide to spend time instead of money, when we pick up the phone and check on someone we know is lonely, when we show our children what Christmas means by how we act, not just by what we say. Change doesn't come from big speeches or perfect plans. It comes from small choices, made on purpose. One visit instead of another shopping trip. One call instead of scrolling. One act of kindness instead of rushing past. And if we all take responsibility, even in a small way, Christmas can slowly become what it was always meant to be again. Not louder, not richer, but more human, more caring, and more real. And maybe this is the part we don't say often enough. One day the lights will be packed away, the noise will stop, and Christmas will be over. What people will remember won't be the presents, the food, or the money spent. They will remember how they were treated, whether someone noticed them, whether they felt cared for or ignored. Christmas has always been a quiet test of who we are when no one is watching. A reminder that kindness matters most when it costs something, when it's inconvenient, and when life is hard. If we can get that right, even just a little, then Christmas doesn't just become a day we celebrate. It becomes something we live by. And that is how real change begins. So let's not wait for another year or another reminder. Let's start today. Let's start from now. Let's make this Christmas the one where we do things a bit differently, where we care more, slow down more, and put people before money. Real change doesn't start someday. It starts this year with the choices we make next.